From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, August the 22nd, 2024. An IDF soldier was killed during fighting in Gaza today. 19-year-old Sergeant Ori Ashkenazi Nehemiah was said to have been killed by anti-tank missile fire in the southern Gaza Strip. The IDF continues its operation in Gaza against terror group Hamas, eliminating terrorists and destroying terror infrastructure. Israel's official X Twitter platform shared today that initial results from autopsies conducted on the remains of the 6 hostages recovered in an IDF operation earlier this week in Gaza said there were bullet wounds found in all of the 6. Writing, it is believed that the terrorists guarding the hostages killed them while in captivity, fearing a rescue operation during an IDF airstrike in the area where they were held hostage. 3 of those hostages were laid to rest today. The IDF concluded counter-terror operations in Samaria, the West Bank, today, sharing that it carried out an airstrike that killed 3 armed terrorists in the area, destroyed explosives planted in the traffic routes with the aim of harming our forces, and destroyed 2 explosives laboratories and made several arrests. And Israeli troops continue to defend the border with Lebanon, where rockets continue to be fired by terror group Hezbollah at northern Israel, sparking a fire today in Kiryat Shmona. No injuries were reported. The Times of Israel said that a rocket fired from Lebanon hit a house in the northern town of Zarit, causing damage but no injuries. U.S. President Joe Biden spoke over the phone yesterday with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about efforts to reach a ceasefire hostage release deal and threats facing Israel. The White House saying that the president and the prime minister discussed active and ongoing U.S. efforts to support Israel's defense against all threats from Iran, including its proxy terrorist groups, Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, to include ongoing defensive U.S. military deployments. The president stressed also the urgency of bringing the ceasefire and hostage release deal to closure and discussed upcoming talks in Cairo to remove any remaining obstacles. The Times of Israel said that the Israeli negotiating team was back in Cairo this evening for the talks. And at the Democratic National Convention last night in Chicago, the parents of one of the hostages, American-Israeli Hirsch Goldberg Poland, spoke before the crowd, which rose to its feet to greet them, chanting, "Bring them home," and stayed standing to hear the emotional words of Rachel and John Poland about the dire need to bring their son and all the hostages home.
At this moment, 109 treasured human beings are being held hostage by Hamas in Gaza. They are Christians, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, and Buddhists. They are from 23 different countries. The youngest hostage is a 1-year-old red-headed baby boy, and the oldest is an 86-year-old mustachioed grandpa. Among the hostages are 8 American citizens. One of those Americans is our only son. His name is Hirsch.
This is a political convention. But needing our only son and all of the cherished hostages home is not a political issue. It is a humanitarian issue.
109 hostages remain held in captivity in Gaza now for 321 days. Well, over 100 Jewish institutions and synagogues across Canada received bomb threats yesterday via a mass email. The threats proved to be false, and police are investigating the incident as a hate crime. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said he was disgusted by the threats, saying this is blatant anti-Semitism. Trudeau said the Royal Canadian Mounted Police is in contact with local law enforcement to investigate, and we're working with them to keep Jewish Canadians safe. B'nai B'rith Canada said this is not just an attack on our safety, it's an attack on the fabric of Canadian society, saying the incitement we have been seeing almost daily in every city, on all our streets, and in all our campuses across Canada have created this permissive environment. Enough is enough. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, August the 22nd at 7 o'clock. We bring you the closing plenary from the American Jewish Committee's Global Forum with CEO Ted Deutsch, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, remarks from Representative Richie Torres, a tribute to a hero of Israel, Ophir Libstein, a performance by Matisyahu, and more. At 9, Steve Gutow is on Chayim. At 10, FIDF CEO Steve Weil is joined by Noya Govrin, director of the Lone Soldier Program at Nefesh B'Nefesh, to talk about the challenges that lone soldiers face during the war and how her organization supports them. That program is also coming up next. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, August the 22nd, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.